Hello, my wise people. This is May Taurus love reading. This is obviously for Tauruses and those in love with them, but also, you know, the drill. It all depends on your individual birth chart, so it may resonate with you or it may not. So ideally you should get the chance to watch your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign as well, because the energy may be stronger for you in that area at this time. So happy birthday, Tauruses. Happy birthday, one of my favorite Taurus, Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And let's see what we get about Tauruses. It's relevant to love. It's not that I wanted in particular to look at that area of their life. You know me, I just like to give out whatever message the divine decides is important for you to know at this time. However, this is what we got. We got messages about your love life in particular. It can be about associations as well, but to be fair, it would only be emotional connections if that would be the case, but mainly about love life, I would say. And it seems that that area of your life, Tauruses, is quite trying your patience. Yeah, your patience, and it's important that this happens because it gives you some indication about what is going on in your love life. Again, I feel you need to pay attention to communication. I can't remember whether we had communication in love for Tauruses recently. Communication seems to have been a bit of an issue for everyone anyway, since we had Mercury retrograde. And it is in general, communication is a very important aspect if we want to make relationships work, regardless of what type of relationships we are talking about. And for Tauruses, it looks like love hasn't been expressed warmly enough. So I feel not that there was a lack of communication in particular, although it could be, but there wasn't enough communication about love with Tauruses. And I believe that's why there are issues in your love life and in your relationship as well. That on one hand, and on the other hand, because you need to address some disappointments when it comes to insecurities and competition in the area of love. And it doesn't have to be that you have a competitor, but actually your partner feels insecure in their relationship with you, Tauruses. So you might actually want to pay attention to that aspect, because it causes problems in your relationship big style. Whether they are telling you or not, they could be. I think they will eventually speak up about it. There will be conversation coming from your partner, Tauruses, telling you about how they feel, and they don't necessarily feel particularly safe in the relationship. So if they don't say it directly, but I do believe they will, but if they don't, you need to read between the lines. But I think that their way of communicating is going to be quite straightforward. But again, it depends on obviously your partner's personality as well. I feel that also Tauruses need to deal with all beliefs when it comes to relationships as well. old patterns, everything that doesn't serve you right, everything that's old that held you back. It could be stuff from your childhood, it could be stuff in your subconscious mind that you may not necessarily be aware of, but you are asked now and guided to look into it and put an end to it, because it really affects your love life. And this has to come to an end, and the new cycle has to begin in your relationship, Tauruses. I don't feel ending of relationships, even though you might have went through hiccups, difficulties, lack of love communication and warm communication. I don't feel you are necessarily ending relationships if you are coupled, but a new cycle has to begin. And of course, if you don't make sure of that, then the relationship will end. Of course, if you feel that your relationship is too much or is not what you want anymore, it's disappointing and it's hard work for you, or you don't feel that you get enough and you're not fulfilled in your relationship, you are advised to end it, because you cannot lie to yourself forever. Eventually it will catch up with you and it will happen regardless. So I feel that a lot of energy needs to be put in the area of love for Tauruses. Let me see if there is anything else that I need to... So definitely you need to address your love life, my dear Taurians, big style. With, you have to be brave, you have to be bold, you have to be loving at the same time, because it doesn't mean that if a relationship comes to an end, you don't love the person. It's one thing to love and it's another thing to be in love. And if you're not in love anymore, doesn't mean you don't love them, or the other way around, they don't love you anymore. But you definitely have to pay attention to this area of your life, because it's critical. And the bottom of the deck, let me see if we have the 10 of Wands. So again, another card indicating that your relationships do need a lot of your energy and attention to sort them out one way or the other, but you can't carry on like this for much longer, because it's going to catch up with you. So don't ignore it, because if you don't ignore it, you have a chance of fixing it in the best possible way. If you do ignore it, then there will be disappointment, there will be hard work, and obviously all the negativity that comes from a conflictual state. So what else I meant to... Yeah, again, pay attention to your connections other than love, so emotional connections, to Leos in particular, I would say, or fire signs. So that would be Leos, Aries and Sagittarians. So you have to pay attention to that. You may be feeling a bit pushed at times by an older lady in your midst, in your circle, or an air sign woman. That would be Gemini, Aquarian or Libra. Of course, it can go the other way around, and for women, if you're a Taurus woman, that could be a man. Yeah. So it's the energy of that star sign, it's not the gender specific. Let me see what else I get about you, if there is any. Again, anxiety. So honestly, no matter how we look at this, we can't get away from the main issue and advice. Tauruses have to work on their relationships, anything from love life to family, relatives, siblings, children, they all need attention. All the relationships that involve love and emotions, feelings and emotions, they seem to be draining for you. I will ask, so one aspect is communication, I feel. One main reason for, no, actually that is not the reason, that is part of the, so that is opposing energy, but also and challenging energy, but also supporting energy. So I believe that communication can be challenging, but can also bring a resolution to Tauruses as well. So let's see if we get a particular reason for the issues in your again, communication. It's about communication, really. No matter how you turn it or toss it, we turn it or toss it, it's about communication, Taurians. And as I said, you may be challenged by a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and an air sign, Gemini, Libra or Aquarian, or an older person who feels they have the authority to say things because of their ancient wisdom. That if it's not one of the air signs that I mentioned. And I said, for those in love with Taurians, you feel that things are not going right in the relationship, and you feel a bit disappointed and not quite safe in the relationship. So I will try and see if I get anything else for you. Things will change. You will shift from the confusion, and again, a new beginning. You will move away from all the issues if you do it with love and constructive criticism and loving communication. So as I said, even though you may be looking at a complete shift emotionally, and all the confusion, and if there has been any third-party situation or deceiving going on, that's coming to an end. But being not necessarily honest about it, because you need to assess whether, if that is the case, whether the person is ready to take that. It's important that we speak the truth, but we also have to assess the time and the mind state of the person we are talking to. So it's important when we come out with the truth, because I have actually paid attention to this a long time, and I have seen that many times people feel like they have to come clean if they have been unfaithful or deceiving to their partner, and they feel that they have to come clean and let it out and inform and speak the truth, inform their partner and speak the truth. But the most but most of the times they actually do it in a very for a very selfish reason. Actually, they just want to get it off their chest, and they don't take into consideration how their partner may be able to deal with it at that particular time. So whilst speaking the truth is very important, and coming clean about whatever is going on is very important, I'm not saying that cheating has been going on necessarily, but some kind of deceiving has been going on, even if it's just a level of the partner, the Taurus, falling out of love and not actually admitting openly. So you have to assess the mental and emotional state of your partner, and make sure that when you do come clean, they are able to cope with the truth. So they have to be quite strong in themselves. It's going to happen anyway. However, if that is the case, you might want to start preparing your partner, and not let it all out and you know, come with the blow, but sort of preparing them for what's coming. However, if whatever has been going on that involves lack of clarity, of truth, and a deceiving situation, if it's being dealt with, although it's very difficult to deal with, but if it's being dealt with in a very loving manner and supportive manner, then things can come out right for the couple, because the emotions and the love and the support can help. As I said, just because somebody falls out of love with their partner doesn't mean they don't care about that partner, but you need to know when to say it and how to say it is very important. However, you do have to communicate and at least give them an indication if you are quite in that situation. If your situation is somewhat lighter and it's just about slight confusion or lack of loving words and comforting words, then you just got to do that and things will shift and move forward. So obviously there are various situations, as this is a general reading that relates to so many people out there. So there you go, Tauruses. I hope and Taurus lovers, I hope this helps you. Thank you to those who subscribe, comment, like, share. By the way, comment if you need anything more or different. We have a saying, the baby that doesn't cry, the mum will not feed him, her, because that is the indication, isn't it, that a baby can give about needing nursing and feeding. So communicate, people. Yeah, it's for you, in your interest, not for me necessarily. I can just do what I am guided to do, but if you need more or different, and obviously if you need in-depth readings that apply to your specific situation, do get in contact for booking a session. I do offer 10 minutes free for my new clients, just so they know that it will work and they can be confident it will help them get the answers they need and the clarification they need. Other than that, until I see you next time, be loved and be happy.